what's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today, as you can see, I have a couple of USB devices on my desk here, and I'm gonna be giving my quick little thoughts about all of these things. So if you're interested in the ASUS ROG XG17 or the ZenScreen Touch MB16 or the ROG Arion S 500, which actually sounds like something Mercedes with a new Mercedes. Is it a new Mercedes? That's what we're gonna check out in today's video. So if you're interested in these things, stick around. And of course, as always, all of these things you can find down below in the description, and you can buy these things through my Amazon affiliate link if you wish. But anyway, yeah, a couple of months ago I was really interested in getting a third screen. I have two proper main screens, right? One for gaming, one for Twitch, and I needed another third one to see some charts, maybe look what Bitcoin is doing or some other stocks are doing, right? So I thought, okay, I'm gonna get a third screen, and I asked ASUS if they could send me a third screen, so kindly of them, and they offered, hey, check out our USB screens. I was like, wait, you guys have USB screens? I haven't looked, I didn't know. And as I didn't need a big screen, I was like, I actually want a small tablet-sized screen, right? I mean, like, the XG17 is like a big tablet, right? A 17-inch screen. So I was like, yeah, fine, send them over, right? So after a few months of using the MB16 here and also now using the XG17, I do have some pretty decent thoughts about, you know, should you buy this, is this for you or not, right? So where to actually begin with these things? First of all, let's start things off with the ROG XG17. As the name states, it is a small 17-inch IPS display running at 1080p at a whopping 240 Hz. And even the response time on this thing is just 3 milliseconds. So it's actually great for a second screen to do some serious gaming on, while at the same time displaying beautiful colors thanks to the IPS panel that it uses. Now there's a total of 2 USB-Cs here, a single micro HDMI and a headphone jack. So you can power it through one USB-C port or just let it run on the 7800 mAh battery that can last a little under 4 hours at full 240 Hz speeds. Now of course you can easily hook this thing up to your PC or your laptop through the micro HDMI cable, but you can actually hook this thing up to other devices as well, like your phone through the USB-C. You just need to see if your phone supports the display option through the USB-C. The other thing that I actually really want to touch upon here a little bit is the stand. It does come with a magnetic stand, and it also, by default, it has a magnetic stand. And it also, you can buy this thing with an optional proper ROG stand, like you would see on pretty much most ASUS ROG monitors, which can easily hook up to the display thanks to a hinge mechanism there, and yeah, you can easily adjust it left, right, up and down. But the small little nagging, small little thing that I didn't like was that you couldn't bring it all the way down to your desk, which is a big no-no in my opinion. By default it already is standing pretty high from your desk, so I actually wanted to, you know, pull it down a little bit, but you can't do it. You can just pull it upwards, which was really odd. So ASUS maybe redesigned the stand a little bit so you can actually pull the screen all the way down to your desk if you wish to do so. I think that would give it a much better appeal than it is by default right now. Another small thing that I noticed was that because this thing comes, and also the MB16 comes with a micro HDMI port, not a regular HDMI port, and it was really difficult for me to find a proper cable for it, because the default cable is just like, I don't know, I didn't measure it, but it felt like 30 centimeters. I mean, it's only good to hook up your laptop or something like that. If I wanted to hook this thing to my PC, and I want my third screen to be on this side while my PC is on that side, I need at least like 3 to 5 meters of cable, right? So, and here in Estonia, it's pretty hard to find micro HDMI cables by default. Of course, you can find these 30 centimeter cables, but I needed a 3 to 5 meter one, and I couldn't find it. There was none. So the easiest thing to do was to go out and buy a separate micro HDMI to HDMI converter, and hooking all these things together into the display, yeah, I did feel that it started to break the socket, which was not ideal. So in the future, ASUS, if you're listening to this, I think you need to maybe redesign the display a little bit so the cable would already come out from the screen and the socket would be there on the cable. So you wouldn't actually maybe break the socket with a large cable or something like that. Or if you can't do that, add a converter for people who just use HDMI. Because it's not that easy. If you go on a travel, right, and you forget the cable, it's not as easy to find a micro HDMI cable than it is to find a HDMI cable in a hotel room or something like that, right? So yeah, these are the small little things that I wanted to touch upon. Overall, I give the XG17 a proper 9 out of 10. I mean, it's a decent display. I think it cost like $450 or something like that. A little bit more expensive than the MB16, but overall pretty decent value for money, in my opinion, if you really need a screen with a battery, right, that lasts around 4 hours of use if you don't hook it up to anything. So I mean, it's pretty decent, but yeah, it does have its small little drawbacks, but yeah, overall pretty decent. Now I quickly covered the magnetic stand that it came by default, right? Now we're gonna come to the main thing. The ZenScreen MB16, which I've been using the most of the time, like a couple of, like 3 months maybe even now. It stands here on my desk here. I never actually move it because I'm really afraid to move it. First of all, of course, it is because of the micro HDMI socket, which is bending like Beckham, right? It's almost broken. There's no wiggle room for me to actually adjust the display. You know, it's impossible. And the main reason for this is the stand. Now, with the XG17, the magnetic stand was kinda okay, but it was still really flimsy. On the MB16, it's literally just the biggest frustration, headache I've ever had. Like, please, ASUS, never ever make this thing ever again. I never want to see this. It's just horrible. And the magnetic stand that comes by default is like an origami. You have to like neatly, perfectly position it. And the manual that comes with it, oh, just bend it like this and this and this. The manual is absolutely, I can vouch, I can bet on that I can more easily learn to read hieroglyphs than to read this manual here, how to set up your magnetic stand. It's just absolute frustration. I swear a lot here, but I like to be, I like to not swear. I'd want to not swear, but if I could, I'd swear a lot right now. It's just absolute piece of garbage. Insane. And after like 5-minute workout, I finally was able to put this thing on the stand as it was meant to be put on the stand. I swear to God, if I look at it the wrong way, it falls down. If I breathe on it, it falls down. So as it is a touch screen, it's a touch screen. How are people able to touch the screen while the magnetic stand still holds it up neatly? I mean, there are some positions, but it takes so long to, it's just a frustration. Just take a pillow, put the pillow on your desk, put this thing on your pillow, and then just do your work, right? It's insane. It drove me nuts. And the thing here is, oh my God, I'm going on with this stand thing for quite too long. But the thing is that while on the ROG XG17, you could buy the ROG stand separately and hook it up via the hinge mechanism there. The ZenScreen Touch doesn't have anything. It's just an aluminium frame that hooks onto the magnetic stand, right? ASUS, why haven't you designed an ROG stand or a ASUS ZenScreen stand that just uses a big, like this? You can see how it bends into the magnet, A4 paper like magnet, right? Make a screen stand like that, but use this A4 magnet, A4 paper sized magnet. So you just put your tablet like this, and it's stuck there. It doesn't slide off or anything, and you can still adjust it up and down, left and right, everything, right? So why isn't there a stand like that? It's just beyond me. Why do we need a hinge mechanism? It's absolutely not needed if it's a tablet, right? It's a aluminium frame, easily hooks through a magnet like that and doesn't fall down. Anyway, enough of that. So moving on from this stand, the next thing, as from the name, MB16. Yep, it's not a 16-inch screen. It's a 15.6-inch screen, 1080p, and this time just 60 Hz. But it is a touchscreen, which is nice, and still has an IPS panel, which displays really beautiful colors to us. And yeah, it draws power from a single USB Type-C, and of course has a single micro HDMI port for the display cable. Yeah, quickly to touch upon, again, as a really short cable here, so yeah, you definitely you need the HDMI converter or a proper length cable. But yeah, other than those things, I mean, it's a pretty decent display. Nothing too bad to say. My overall score for the ZenScreen Touch MB16 is going to be an 8 out of 10. I'd actually give it a 3 because of the stand. If I can give a score to a stand, it's either 1 or a 3, something like that. It's just absolutely horrible. So if you've managed to find a better stand for this thing, you're good to go. I mean, it's a good display, and it's a touchscreen display, right? But the stand just, ASUS just sabotages their own display with the stand here, in my opinion. Now, finally, let's move on to this thing here, the ASUS's ROG Arion S 500, because this is a 500GB M.2 device, NVMe. So what it exactly is, it is a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 M.2 device, which is actually not a bad idea, right? You can actually really quickly open it with a needle or something, right? And switch out the M.2 device there, which is pretty neat. So you can actually put in your favorite M.2 device, the exact specifications, what sizes this thing eats, is on ASUS's website. I'm gonna leave the website down below so you can see if it's big enough for your M.2 device. But overall, I was really pleasantly surprised here. I definitely wanted a better storage device than a regular USB device, right? So if I have a USB 3.2 Gen 2 socket, I could enjoy full 10 gigabits of speeds from it. So yeah, I did a quick crystal disk mark as well, and as you can see, 1000 megabytes, almost 1000 megabyte reads and writes was just absolutely insane in my opinion. So a really nice device here. And yeah, overall looks really good, right? Has the ROG flavor, right? Has the ROG Aura Sync logo even there. So pretty much you can leave it on your desk 24/7 hooked into your M.2 USB device, and it's a nice little extra RGB device on your desk if you're not using it, right? And yeah, other than that, it is an aluminum frame, so it's really good, well cooled. Now, I did see some people complain that it did get too hot for them, but I guess that depends on what exact M.2 device you put in there, and if you're, actually copying stuff on it. So yeah, of course, if you're, copying 500 gigabytes of videos or whatever on this thing. Of course it's gonna get hot for that period of time, but then it will just cool down after it has done all the copying, and it still is perfectly fine in terms of temperatures while copying, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a nice device, and I checked around and I did see this thing go for around 140 euros, 4500 version, 4500 gigabyte version. But you can buy this this device without the SSD, and it cost around $60, I think it was. So for 60 bucks, an M.2 NVMe storage, portable storage device, absolutely stellar job. So my final verdict for this thing is a full 10 out of 10. It's a perfect device, great job here. It's just great value. It's a great compartment as well. It's full aluminium, greatly cooled, has a nice design, RGB even on it, and a great speed. So hard to say anything bad about it, right? So you can buy this thing, you know, empty or filled with the 500 gigabyte M.2 SSD. So yeah, a really neat device. Anyway, that's gonna be it for my quick little video here. Hope I didn't ramble too much about the stands, but I really think I needed to say something. I don't want to see stands like this ever again. And I think, man, the thing that sucks about the ROG XG17 stand is that I can't put it lower. Like, I want this to be like somewhere here, right? I don't want it to be this high. So even if I say to ASUS that yeah, I want to keep the ROG, I don't want to keep this because the stand is the same, and if there's no difference in the stand, then I can pretty much use the MB16 because I don't need the a little bit bigger screen, and I don't need the 240 Hertz, right? Anyway, if you have any more questions or maybe I left something out and you want to know, leave them down below in the comment section. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you soon. Ciao for now.